As Betsy mentioned, early in my career, I led the Outlook team, the Outlook business, and that was a point where Outlook was really at its infancy. But we had a vision. We had a vision that people didn't want to use different applications for email and for calendaring and contacts. And we also shared a vision with the Exchange team, that if we created a rich client and server set of applications, we could actually transform the way people do business. We could help them make smarter, faster decisions. And so we set upon a path to really evolve the Office business to the point where it's really become the leading client and server messaging and calendaring system on the planet. And we did that by listening to customers, by looking at where the industry is going overall, and by having a vision ourselves and setting forward on that vision, release after release, until we accomplish our goal. And today that journey continues. And the vision evolves as the market changes and the needs of our customers change as well. About a decade ago, with the advent of Exchange, with SharePoint and Link, we actually transformed our vision from just being about the Office applications and personal productivity to really being about teams and how they work together to accomplish their goals as an organization. And as Betsy mentioned, just 2 years ago, we launched Exchange and SharePoint as online services. That launch brought a strong signal, both to our teams internally and to the market as well, that we would move our core applications to the cloud, and that we would put the cloud at the center of our strategy moving forward and our vision. We believed in the cloud and we embraced the cloud because we actually thought it would transform the way that people work. It's not just about a business transformation, it's about new things that we can deliver to customers. And in just 2 years, we've had tremendous success. Take companies from Aon to Aviva, from Gap to GlaxoSmithKline, from Starbucks to Starwood. Companies in 40 countries across the world have really embraced the cloud and Microsoft's offering. And those are just the name brands. There are thousands of business customers of all sizes, governments from California to Holland, and schools from around the world are moving to the cloud services from Microsoft. And we've had remarkable success and remarkable adoption from this point. So today our business customers are sending and receiving 167 million messages every day from our cloud services. That's about 2,000 messages every second. And since I started speaking, that's 250,000 messages that have been sent and received on Microsoft's cloud services. We've accomplished this because we've really transformed how we think about our engineering systems. Every single person in the Microsoft Office division is now thinking about what cloud services mean to our customers, what they mean for our business, what they mean for our products. We're building industry-leading data centers across the world, and we've changed the way that we actually deliver our services, so we now re-provision it and update our service every 90 days. As a result, our customers are also changing the way that they think about the cloud. Just a few years ago, our customers were asking us, should they move to the cloud? That conversation has dramatically changed in just a few years. They're now asking us, when should they move to the cloud, and what should they move to the cloud moving forward? So we're unequivocally at a pivot point in the adoption of cloud services. When I talk to customers about the cloud, there's a kind of general assumption that it's really just about a business model transformation. It's about taking the infrastructure that they hold within their organization and figuring out how do we move that to our infrastructure, to our data centers. It's about thinking about how do we move from a licensing model to a subscription model. But that's really not the way to think about the cloud. The cloud is a transformation, and it's a technology transformation. In fact, we believe it's one of the most impactful transformations that will happen in our generation. We think it's similar in magnitude to the change to the graphical user interface. And we think it brings on huge new possibilities and opportunities, not just for us and our business, but also for our customers in terms of what we can deliver to them. It's a transformation that enables people to work more closely together and more efficiently across boundaries. This means that individuals within a company can have the full capabilities of their infrastructure regardless of where they are in the world. It means they can reach out to their customers, to their partners, just as easily as they reach out to others within the organization. And they can do all that simply and securely, a critical capability that has to be there. So take, for example, the Starwood Group. As Betsy mentioned, they're the owners of the St. Regis, and they own properties around the world, including this hotel. They use the cloud to enable their regional managers to work better together. Each of their managers operates something like 70 to 80 hotels around the world. And Starboard managers are using the cloud services to improve the way they manage those properties. They're using web conferencing together with collaboration and messaging. And it's really changed the way they think about things like promotions, how they do train new employees, and how they share best practices. It's really been transformational in terms of how they think about their business. What it means is now their managers can work virtually in a way that they never could physically. They couldn't necessarily get to all those properties across the world on a regular basis. I actually had dinner with Jim and members of his team last night, and he said that his team itself, their IT organization, operates virtually as well because of some of these technologies that we're delivering to them. So it's really transformed the way that they think about the business. Secondly, the cloud actually changes the rules of business for our users. We can deliver technology to the largest of our businesses in the same way, those technologies, to the smallest businesses as well. That's because the cloud takes advantage of both scale economies and skill economies. What that means is now a business basically gets elastic IT capacity. At their fingertips is 20 football fields of IT capacity whenever they need it. And thousands of our engineers are immediately at their side. This is not feasible for individual companies, particularly of a small size. Yet with the cloud, we can offer these capabilities to a vast new class of customers, and do so at a much lower cost. Since we've lowered the barriers of entry, this means that a self-employed professional, a local municipality, a startup in Silicon Valley can all benefit from enterprise-class applications. Take the capabilities in the richest, largest organization, and we can deliver those services, those complete services, to all of those users. And this means that they can compete with those large organizations immediately, out of the gate, at whatever scale is appropriate for them. Let me give you another example, the Herb Farm, which is a fantastic restaurant in our backyard outside of Seattle. They actually use the cloud to communicate and to set their menu. So what happens is a sous chef goes to the local market every morning, and they find out what produce is fresh, what meat is available, and what they should think about putting in the menu. They communicate that back to the chef. The chef figures out how to put together the menu. The manager prints up that menu, and they've got that for their diners that night. And so that's a case where the cloud and our services enable them to deliver a world-class menu each and every night. It also means that Thomas, who's a guest here today, I think Thomas is in the room, it means Thomas can focus on guest services and making every guest comfortable every day. It doesn't have to worry about his IT infrastructure because we take care of that for him. The third thing that the cloud does is it allows you to have agile IT. Companies that make changes and scale out in different ways can take advantage of the cloud to do that. So imagine a company takes an acquisition, or it grows in scale, it opens a new store, does a holiday promotion. They can expand their infrastructure to take advantage of that, and they can do that virtually instantaneously. As an example, the Lionsgate Studios recently acquired the TV Guide Network. They were able to get the TV Guide Network up on their infrastructure in a matter of a week. Something that was never possible in the past is made possible because of the power of the cloud. So those are great examples of how the cloud brings new value to organizations, really of all types and sizes, which brings us to today's news. When we began developing the Office 2010 product several years ago, we knew that with delivering these capabilities both on-premises and in the cloud would be essential to us. And we knew we had the possibility and the opportunity to push the boundaries of our vision by thinking about the release in that context. We knew we had the ability to literally transform the IT infrastructure, the landscape, and transform business as we knew it. From small and mid-sized companies to large companies to government agencies and to educational institutions as well. And that's why I'm pleased to be here to announce the next step in Microsoft's productivity vision. Office 365. Office 365 brings together SharePoint, Exchange, Link, and for the very first time Office as a subscription for services and organizations of all sizes. We chose the name Office 365 because nothing says productivity better than Office. and customers will get the best of our everything we know about productivity 365 days a year. We also recognize that the cloud brings new responsibilities to us as we take responsibilities for the customer's infrastructure and bring that into our data centers. That's a huge responsibility that we're committing to today. And that's why we've dedicated tens of thousands of engineers to support Office 365, and we're investing deeply in our cloud services. Office 365 is the biggest commitment that we've made to customers and partners. We started accepting applications for the beta today, and with a few thousand organizations across 13 countries worldwide. We'll actually ship Office 365 worldwide next year. And now I'd like to invite Chris Capicella on stage, and he can walk us through the details of Office 365. Chris.